Hey guys, today I'm checking out the brand new diesel toolbox heater from HCalory. It is really powerful, but really quiet and really compact. Lots of features. I'm going to check them all out today right here on Hemlock Ridge. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hey, I know it's been a while since I posted. Life gets so busy for me in the warm season here. We only get 4 months of good weather and 8 months of terrible weather. I mean, in fact, some of the worst weather on the planet happens right here on this homestead. And last time I filmed, I think it was maple sugar season, late spring, late winter, early spring, I should say. Then I got busy with maintenance on equipment, had an axle break in my 6x6, having to do just all kinds of work around the property, clearing felled trees, staining the cabin, you name it. It's kind of a rush to get that all done before the weather turns again. And I don't always set up the camera, but it is now early fall, beautiful time of year, just starting to see hints of color, reds starting to work in, yellows, blanket of leaves. It's been extremely dry here. We haven't really had rain. I think we've had maybe 3 inches of rain in 4 months. So the creek is literally a trickle, but it's okay. I mean, I like it when it's dry here. Can get around easy, do a lot of work, but soon it's going to be getting cold. Right now, really nice warm days. At night, temperatures are getting really chilly, and it's going to be even, I think, near freezing later this week at night. So one of the things I've always wanted to do is check out some alternate heating sources. And got the wood stove in the cabin, works great. It's always great to have redundancy when you're off-grid like this. Also, for all the outbuildings I have, I'd like to have some way to kind of heat those as needed. You know, maybe I need to do some work on equipment and I want to heat my shed, or warm up the outhouse a little bit toastier when I've got some guests here. So today I'm going to be checking out one of these diesel heaters that you've probably seen before, but this is a brand new model from HCalory. It's their Toolbox diesel heater, brand new, and I really like it because it's all-in-one and compact and extremely light. You'll see this unit is not much bigger than a small toolbox. It's roughly 12 inches wide by 12 inches high, just a little bit of a cube. And I weighed it. It only weighs just under 20 pounds before you add fuel to it. So extremely light. You can carry it around with one hand. And what I like about these is they're very efficient. You can run them for a long time on a gallon of diesel. You can use a remote control, and you can move it around really wherever you need heat. So it's great for this because if I need a backup, if I want to quickly get the cabin warm, I could go ahead, fire this thing up, again, heat an outbuilding. But if you have a trailer that you need to heat, a utility trailer, if you have a tent you want to heat, camper, ice shack, if you're an ice fisherman, these are really great for that because they're portable, they don't weigh a lot, and you know, I think it's a good thing to have as part of your off-grid or outdoors toolkit. So let's check it out. First thing you'll notice is it's a really nice looking unit. Again, got 2 handles on it, extremely light. I do like that it does have these integrated handles because if you are camping and you want to lock this thing up, you could run a cable lock right through one of those handles and lock it to something so it doesn't grow legs and walk off. But it's got an integrated fuel tank, controller right up top. That controller does have a extension cable if you do want to mount it somewhere. But what I really like, and I haven't seen this before, is the integrated remote control with an LCD display allows you to operate this remotely, adjust the temperature, and it has a built-in carbon monoxide detector. And I think that's really, really great because you could keep this in the space that you're going to be heating and make sure there's not any kind of carbon monoxide. It literally tells you the ppms of carbon monoxide parts per million that are in the air, and if it's starting to creep up, it'll alarm, or hopefully it should be at 0, so you know the unit is functioning correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up for the first time. I have not used this yet, so I'll show you what's included. So in the box, you do get the actual diesel heater, the unit, the all-in-one unit, and then you get a number of accessories. And the accessories you get out of the box include the heating duct, the heating diffuser. You get a AC power supply if you want to plug this in and use AC to power it. You also get a DC cord with two ring connectors on the end if you want to wire it directly to a 12-volt battery. And you also get the exhaust pipe, muffler, and some clamps. And if you want, it also has some brackets where you can mount this to a floor. So overall, you also get the instruction manual here. Instructions look pretty clear. I will tell you, they are written really well. There is one page where some kind of formatting mistake happened, and there are random spaces throughout the words. I think somebody probably copied over the translated text, and it had some additional spaces in it, and they didn't realize that. The rest of the manual is fine, but you do have to look at that kind of closely, and I'm sure they will fix that, because this is, again, the first run of this brand new unit that is just hitting the market today. So let's go ahead. We're going to set this up. We'll see what's involved in setting it up for the first time, and we'll fire it up and see how it goes. All right, I'm going to set this up. I'm really excited to see how this works. First thing I'm going to do, it actually came with some feet that screw on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and put those on. And it looks like the only thing you need as far as tools to set this up the first time is a Phillips screwdriver and a nut driver. That should handle every fitting that they give you to set this up with. So I'm going to go ahead and put these, again, feet on the bottom here for the first time. You can see under the unit here where the exhaust outlet is, they have some kind of, it looks like heat resistant insulation and tape on there. So I'm sure that gets really hot. I think the exhaust on these things can get to like 400 degrees Celsius. So I would recommend, if you're going to be putting this on a flammable material, like the floor of on a porch of your cabin or something like that, that you do use the included legs to get it off the ground a little bit, and or put something that's heat resistant under there, because I'm sure that is pretty hot coming out of the bottom of the unit. All right, so I'm going to go ahead, since we've got this up here, and put the exhaust pipe on. And all we need is, looks like just the pipe and the clamp here. Actually, you don't even need a nut driver. This has got a Phillips head on the nut as well. So we're going to tighten that up. Make sure it's down all the way. All right. And you definitely want to make sure you got a good seal on this. Some people do operate these indoors. You just got to be really careful. You got to make sure the exhaust is exiting the structure you're inside. And they sell online, you can get a thimble, basically an insulated flange, where this exhaust pipe can go, and it allows it to pass through a wall, and so it's not going to burn the wall or start a fire, and make sure it's airtight. But again, I'm going to go ahead and put a nut driver on that just to be safe, so it is really sealed well. All right, that is tight. So I'm going to go ahead now, flip this over, and we'll put the muffler on the end. Same thing, you're going to just put a clamp on this, put the muffler in, and clamp it down. One thing you want to make sure once you get these things running is you never touch this exhaust or muffler until it's had ample time to cool down, because these things do get super, super hot. All right, now you've got your hot air ducting, and this goes on the same way. You get a big clamp here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the outside. I'm going to actually see if I can expand this a little bit first, because it's going to make it easier to clamp on. It's not very long ducting they give you, so I would suggest you could probably get drier ducting, which is probably, I'm guessing, the same size if you want to really run this a bit longer, because this is not very far at all, especially if you want to put your ducting through like a bottom of a window or something like that into your cabin or your outbuilding. All right, I don't want to tighten that too much, just enough to hold it. And again, I'm going to go ahead and stretch this out a bit without trying to bend it. Okay, then you've got an air vent or diffuser, whatever you want to call it. We're going to put that on the end, put my clamp on. And then this would obviously allow you to adjust the direction of the air where you want it to blow. This looks like, again, it could be mounted, you know, through a wall. If you were going to keep this outside, it's got screw holes in here. I might get a board, like a piece of 1x6 or something like that, or 1/2 inch by 6 inch. Put this right into the bottom of a window, cut it to size, and then put the port in there so it can blow the hot air inside through the bottom of the window. And go ahead and screw this down. All right, and look at that, it turns and everything. So we're all set. So that's how easy it is to set up. Obviously, if you're going to be, you know, piping this into a area that's a little bit more permanent, you know, you might want to get one of those thimbles, put the exhaust through, put a flange in place for the hot air output. But I'm going to go ahead now, and we're going to put some gas in this, or some diesel. We're going to hook it up to power and see what the first startup looks like. So it does say it holds 7.5 liters. I haven't done the math to convert that to gallons, but it's pretty good. So it does have a screen in here for the diesel. And I do like how it has a gauge here on the outside, so you can see exactly how much fuel you've added and how much is remaining. Try not to. So I could see here I've got about 40% of the tank filled, about 3 liters in there right now. That should be good, just to do a trial run here and see what we get. All I have to do is plug in the AC power adapter. Again, it does have a DC cord as well if you're going to use DC. And I'm going to use my Blue Eddy power bank here for power, since I'm outside. And let's go ahead and turn on my AC, and let's see if this unit powers up here. All right, looks like the unit is on. Looks like I've got 13 volts coming in. I don't know if that's supposed to be the time. Altitude, 0.2 kilometers. I'm sure I could change that. And if I go into the settings here, let's see. Well, maybe I'm going to have to push the power on. All right. So I hear the fan just kicked on. Okay, we are drawing about 180 watts, let's call it. And that is because it is in startup mode right now. So it's got the glow plugs running. It is blowing the fan. It is, once it is fully operational, that power usage will go down, because it's not going to be needing the glow plug. I can hear the pump running, the fuel pump, super quiet. And on my display here, I could hear this ramping up. Wow, I'm impressed how quiet this is. See if we can set the temperature a little bit higher. I like the color display. It's pretty neat. And the fan right now is on automatic mode, so it'll ramp up, ramp down automatically. You can set this to a specific temperature that you want. I think that is the output temperature right now, 183 degrees. Blowing hot air right there outside of the duct. So I'll tell you, that is pretty easy to set up for the first time and get running. I'm going to let it burn off a little bit first. I can smell a little bit of plastic smell just because it's the first time it's heated up and is burning off. This is warm to the touch. It's certainly not going to burn me. I'm sure it's going to get a lot warmer as it runs longer. But this is pretty cool. I can't get over, honestly, how quiet this is. I don't hear any kind of clicking from the fuel pump. Just hear a very, very light fan noise because obviously it's got a blower that's blowing a good amount of air out of here. I mean, I would not hesitate to use this camping if I had it outside of my tent or my ice hut. I mean, you would not even hear it. It's just a very nice white noise in the background. So check this out. Now that it's running, the fan has ramped down a little bit because it's coming up to temperature, and I'm sure the glow plug is off, so it is only using about 21 or 22 watts right now. That's really efficient. And I'm sure if I actually was using the DC power adapter and pulling this off of DC, it would be using even less because I wouldn't have that conversion loss of going from DC to AC into the unit. So that's pretty impressive. Not a lot of power once this thing is running. Boy, and it is quiet. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it's just a little tiny air hum. I mean, no clicking noise at all. All right, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shut this down and see if I can't move it into outside of the cabin where I can actually put some of the air inside the cabin and warm it up in there a little bit. And then we'll check out some of the other features here on the All right, so what I've got here is very makeshift, but I have the duct just blowing the air right through here, and man, this is super, super hot air. I wish I had a temperature infrared thermometer or temperature gauge, because this is probably a couple hundred degrees coming out of here. It's actually, this is a little bit warm. I might want to move this this fleece blanket out of here. But you know what I'd like to eventually do is build a little board in here and mount the outlet into that board, so I could just put it in the window almost like a air conditioning unit when I want to use this to heat the cabin. The other option would be to put it in here and you know, use a thimble to get the exhaust outside of the cabin, which is probably a little bit more efficient because then it's recirculating warm air. It's not just pulling in cool air and heating it. But again, I can't get over just how quiet and smooth this is. I mean, I'm really honestly surprised. I'm not being paid to tell you this. This is my honest review. This is a really, really refined unit for a diesel heater. I mean, it's fantastic. So let's go ahead and check out the remote control. This is really cool because the remote control acts as your thermostat. You know, you set this in the room, it's picking up the ambient temperature, and it's telling the unit whether it needs to ramp up or cool down based on the temperature of the room here. Again, it also has the CO2 carbon monoxide monitor, so it's showing me I have 0 parts per million of carbon monoxide entering. Really important. Again, if you ever had a malfunction, you wouldn't want this to be sucking in gas and filling your entire enclosed space with exhaust fumes. And what I really like is this little unit here has a USB input, so it's rechargeable. You don't have to worry about these stupid watch batteries that, you know, go dead and you're trying to find those little coin batteries. You just plug this in with a USB cord and it recharges your thermostat. The other thing that's really cool is it comes with a Bluetooth app as well. So you've got the little remote control, but you can also load this app on your phone and you get everything right on your phone right here. So I can actually, you know, again, adjust the temperature through here in the room. You can see what the input voltage is to the unit if I'm running off of, for instance, a battery and I'm afraid the battery's getting low. I could actually see my altitude and adjust it for high altitude mode. It burns a little bit differently if you're above a certain altitude. I could see the actual temperature of the aluminum body temperature output as well. Auto start stop, I believe, will turn it on or off automatically as well too. I have the ability to put it in gear mode, and gear mode basically allows me to control the speed of the fan manually. Maybe I want this running at a high speed to ventilate, for instance. I can do that. Or temperature mode will automatically adjust the speed based on the temperature of the room, and it's going to lower the fan speed when that's not needed. And then I can create these different scenes. For instance, you know, maybe I have an away and a here, so maybe when I go away it automatically lets the temperature go down to, you know, 60 degrees until I return. I can create another scene and it'll bring it back up to 72 degrees and so forth. So overall, this is pretty nice. It's really well done, and I'm excited to kind of plumb this in better and use it more. So I'm actually really impressed. I mean, this has exceeded my expectations, just regarding the heat output, the features, the safety features, the remotes, the controls, the settings. I mean, it's really a nice unit, and I'm really excited to use this, honestly. I'm going to figure out how I can pipe this in a little bit better. Obviously, can run it through a window, but when it gets really cold in the middle of the winter, it would be great to have a little bit better of an install. I'm going to go ahead, I think, too, and create some ports in my outbuildings I can plug this into. Right now, I can use it in my shed if I have to work in there in the winter, by just, you know, putting it through the side of the door. But I think having you know, an exhaust port or a heat input port will be really useful as I start to use this. So I'll go ahead and put some links down in the description. Thank you for HCalory for sponsoring this video. This was a completely unbiased review. I'm not paid to do these reviews, but they did want me to check this out, and I appreciate that. They will provide a discount code if anybody who watches the channel thinks this will work for them as well, so I'll put that in the description as well too. And I really appreciate you guys sticking along and checking this out. Hopefully it was beneficial for you. I'll hope to be doing a little bit more posting and more videos as we enter the fall and winter here. And until next time, get outdoors because life is short, and we'll see you back here next time on Hemlock Ridge.